We are back again to continue an effort to help this Medford get its redemption on the dreaded, horrible phone book paper. I have every bit of faith in the world it can do that. So we are going to turn turbo speed on, because with the D2 and the 50 grit stone, it's going to sound like I'm dragging this phone through some gravel. And I'm sure there's probably some weird folks that think that's really cool. I'm not one of them. My guess is you're not one of them. So, not sure what one I'll use to cut this in. I'm thinking...
Stay with him, Air One. I'm all over it. Suspect has increased speed to 120. Maintain visual, Air One. 140 miles an hour. Do not lose him. This is an A-Star, sir, not an Apache. 150. 160. He's gone.
600 grit, and time to get back to it. What entrance do we want this time? Plenty sharp. We're going to move on to stropping, 1500 grit. I'm going to fast forward this because I got a feeling I'm going to be on this one for a long time.
I know we got a history, Eleanor, and that history has not been great. But I promise, you take care of me, I'll take care of you.
Completed the 1500 and the 3000 grit strops. This was the diamond compound paste that is, I can't really say aggressive, but far more aggressive than the diamond oil. This is a 4000 grit, but this is the oil, and it is much more polishing. These guys are really good at removing aggressive scratches, and on this D2 that's kind of what we needed. So I worked a ton onto those to get us to this point. It's extremely sharp. I don't know how far up I'm gonna take it. I'll probably do this 4000. I might switch to Smurf. I don't know about the lapping compounds. I think this is just too tough to even bother with them. So that's the downside to D2. It is so hard, phrasing,
Phrasing.
that you really can't get it mirrored completely unless you really bring a lunch and plan on being here all day. And when you're stropping here, it is important. You're putting no pressure. The total amount of pressure is the weight of the carrier. That's it. I'm not pushing down on it at all. Just letting this glide over. Does a little bit to sharpen. Does a lot more to polish. We are getting this guy really back into fighting condition. And I have no question it's going to win its return match against the phone book paper. At least I hope so. Otherwise, I wasted a rather significant amount of time on this. Shiny-ish. I'm not going to call it shiny. And honestly, I don't know how shiny I'm going to get it, because this is definitely a well-worn and well-used blade. And as high on the hardness scale, Rockwell scale, as he is, I don't really know how much I'm actually doing at this point. In my head, I'm actually doing something. And then again, yeah, not known to be overly intelligent. I do have many very wonderful, great, interesting qualities. Intelligence would not be one of them.
This is his defining characteristic.
He uses the F word excessively.
Thanks, man.
Sadly, yes, yeah.
This vermin speaks of affairs he knows nothing about. That is true. He has no respect. That is also true.
Moving on. It's just fun to get in knives like this that I don't have. Realistically, how often do you see them? They don't make these in huge numbers. Hang on. I have a stupid dog that wants to come up. Hey, dummy. Yeah. You want to come up? I'm doing something, so now you have to be a pain. Hang on.
What do you care? You drink out of the toilet? So do you.
I almost think this is going to be the end. Boy, it kills me to stop this early. That's, like I said, that's a 4 micron, or roughly a 4,000 grit. strop. I really don't want to stop this early, but with D2, you're really kind of wasting your time. Could it polish some of these very small micro scratches out? Maybe. And it's a big maybe. That's the problem. It's just, this is a definite used knife, and it's used a lot. So to take the time to completely mirror it out would be a lot. And honestly, he's going to be using it as a pry bar or opening paint cans or something tomorrow. Move all this stuff back over. My desk is a mess. Alright, so let's do this first. What this is looks like Vaseline, but it's not, I don't think. This is a product called Super Lube, and I have used this for a very long time. Started using it on my 1911s and my M1As, and it just works. I really like it. I've never had an issue with it. It's a really good grease that doesn't stain, doesn't mind high or low temperatures. It just does what I need it to do. So you buy it in a tub, it's like 13 bucks. Can't say anything bad about it. Now, for a knife pivot lube. Given the fact this thing weighs roughly as much as a brick, I'm kind of wondering if I should go with the heavy duty pivot lube. I'll think on that one a little bit. So we are going to Loctite everything because that's just the right way to do it. Camera.
I'll wound your inner child.
You know what I'm thinking. Don't make me go there today. So we're going to Loctite everything up so we don't have any issues with it down the road. With the tolerances on this, I don't know that we truly would. But Loctite is just a wonderful bit of prevention. When you're using Loctite, don't be that guy. Don't coat the entire screw. Just don't. No. No.
No. No.
My dog thinks I'm talking to him. I'm not doing anything wrong, I swear. That's my dog voice. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me.
Very honestly, does this even really need Loctite where it's at? It's captured between here? No, it probably doesn't. But if you're going to do something, do it the right way. All right, now that's oriented. What one do I want to use? I'm gonna lean to, I'm gonna do the heavy. This stupid thing is Godzilla could carry, so we're gonna go heavy because this blade is definitely, what's the new word? Thick. This blade is definitely thick. really cool.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
When you're doing this, you don't need to use a ton of it. A little bit goes a long way. It will just kind of leach out, and that's fine. It is important to remember which washers, excuse me, went where. The mat with the numbering system is great. I know this was the pivot. That's the washer that went with the pivot. That is, oh, I forgot to clean that little spacer. The spacer, the screw that went with it. It just helps keep everything in line and in order. And certain knives, that can be a big deal. Get a little bit onto the detent ball and even the track. I put a little bit inside. Of course, you had to fall off. All right, now, here's the dead cat that was on top of that spacer. That's fun. Got that one on there. Let's do, got a little bit seeping out, but I'm going to do a bit more because this knife is chunky. I don't think it is going to be lacking for assistance getting this action to be nice and smooth. Okay. Hold on, set in. I might even get some directly on the pivot ball. That will just help a little bit long term. Oh yeah, need my pick. Hang on. Helps line all this stuff up. Okay. Just get that on there. Keep things in line. And hopefully we can get lucky lining all this up. Not that that happens a good deal for me specifically.
How's that even possible?
That's what she said.
Well, she did literally say that.
Come on, there you go. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, now we have to move to safety. The safety dance, oh yeah. Gotta love your 80s trash music. Camera. I'm gonna have issues.
This video speaks less to the heart and more to the sphincter. In closing, I think Korn would do well to learn more from...
You're not gonna like it. Okay, get you there. I'm just gonna kind of get all of these in place and started, and then I'll go with the Loctite once I know everything is lined up. Uh-oh. Come on, don't play with my emotions. You were there.
Oh, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Alright. So, everything now is in place. This one was a bit of a pain before. Don't know why. We'll see when we put that together. Probably start with this one. The screw's actually a tiny little bit chewed up. That could be the issue. Now, when you're putting these together, you do have to be aware of how tight they're all tightened respectively. And then that will get us into the conversation of blade centering. Does it really matter if it's perfectly centered? Not really. Are some people very snobby about it? Absolutely. Some people are very snobby about everything.
Son, just don't.
Do you want your blade hitting your liner? No. But knife people can be weird critters sometimes. You know, it's like the whole drop shut action fetish. I don't know what else to refer to it as. Oh, this knife can drop shut. Look at how smooth. And what does that mean? It's kind of like people that talk about how fast they can reholster their gun. Good for you. And, I mean, I don't believe I've ever seen a reholstering competition, but if there ever is one, you are ready for it.
You're old. Yeah, and you suck.
Alright, so we are going to tighten these down just very loosely. The main thing is going to be getting this pivot screw the way I want it to be. And I'm amazed at how well made it was. There was no Loctite on this thing. And it had not backed out on the owner. That is definitely a sign of build quality. They know what they're doing over at Medford. I'm going to take this off camera to... Oh, man, I got... Don't you hate it when you get lube everywhere?
Oh, God, that's all I need.
I know, it happens. I'm going to take this off screen because I need to pay attention to what I'm doing when I put this pivot screw back on. And I don't want to add to the scratches that were there because I just don't. And I am slightly, maybe kind of sort of nervous, given the cost of the knife. I want it to be done correctly. Can you tune an action on a knife this big? Action's smoother than it was. Still stout. Is there? There is no blade play. None. Shocking. Let's check our centering. And even, I think the snobbiest of critters would admit, that looks pretty good. I'm going to put a little bit, and we'll do this on here. Just let that work in. Just to give that bar a little bit. First time it goes in a pocket, that's all gone. I just kind of wanted to give this guy a bit of a fighting chance. Not that it really needs it. people get the idea that titanium is just impervious to everything. And to a point, it kind of sort of is. But against something like D2 tool steel, it's soft. And that, most people think titanium is really, really hard and tough. It's actually not in the grand scheme of tool steels. Man, I don't know if I can get that action any better or not. Lock bar is definitely a little sticky. But it is titanium versus steel. Don't know if there's a whole lot I can honestly do. Put a little bit of the super heavy pivot lube on there. I'm almost wondering, was it a mistake to go heavy? Because this action is not warm and fuzzy for me. But my guess is the regular knife pivot lube is just going to be massively undergunned on something this beefy. We'll put a little bit in there. And that lock bar sticks. I'm just putting a little bit here on the outside lock bar. It will drizzle down and get, mainly what I want to get is that lip. And it's not going to go back to the owner this way. I'm just trying to get it to where I'm happy with the action. And the problem with it is very much, first couple times you use it, dust, grit gets in there, and it is what it is. And that's kind of where I'm thinking the action is at with this fella. Unfortunately, I want it to be a bit smoother. I don't know that it's ever going to be. These are just getting finger tight. That's it. There's no... You don't have to go crazy with them. Oh. Yeah. I mean, it can drop shut, but that's only because the blade weighs as much as a block of lead. I might try to loosen the pivot just a hair. I'd love this to be one-handed opening, but I think it's just too big. And without it, there's just a trick to it. So we come down here. What is that noise? It's hitting right there if I grip it that way, yeah. So if you come down here, it's a lot easier to one hand open. And there's just no way around it. This is a whole lot of knife. Not a fan of how sticky that lock bar is, but it's overbuilt. Something serious to have to support this blade. I think that is, quite honestly, about as good as we're going to get it. So, Am I happy with that? It ain't bad. I would love to see this lock bar better. I don't know if that's going to be, though. But I think that's basically where we're at. Well, Medford Praetorian. It was a fun trip. Now, I think we are done. Give the blade a quick clean. I'll oil it before it mails back. And for oil on there, it's just barricade oil as usual. I'm a big fan of the stuff. Well, it's a Medford. I think we can afford to splurge on a new sheet of phone book paper. It deserves it. What do we think? Did I waste several hours of my life? Well, yes, but did I waste several hours of my life here on this project? Oh, let's see. Do we go slow? I don't know. It seems kind of sharp. Apparently, it's back. Is it the undisputed slicing champion? No. No. With blade stock this thick, I mean, that is... let's see. What can we show against it? I have a Sharpie I can show against it for reference. That might be the most universal thing that everybody will know. This camera makes things kind of look really funky on scale, but that's your frame of reference. This thing is big. It is big. So blade geometry tells us we're not going to have the greatest slicer ever. It's not what it's made for. This thing is just made to be heavy duty and just take a beating all day long and smile. So the Medford. Let's see if we can. I suck at camera work. There. Oh, that's good stuff right there. It's back. It's sharp. It's clean. It's tuned-ish. But it's ready to be back in someone's pocket, making them happy. Ready to take on a Tyrannosaurus Rex or woolly mammoth or velociraptor.
Big whoop. I'm spooning a Barrett 50 cal. I could kill a building.
They don't stand a whole lot of chance against this thing. So, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a good Halloween. Don't know when this is coming out. I filmed it before Halloween. Don't know when I'm releasing it. Take care of each other. Bye.